The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Someone in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to share the inheritance with me." He replied to him, "Friend, who appointed me as your judge and arbitrator?" Then he said to the crowd, "Take care to guard against all greed. For though one may be rich, one's life does not consist of possessions." Then he told them a parable. There was a rich man whose land produced a bountiful harvest. He asked himself, "What shall I do? For I do not have space to store my harvests." And he said, "This is what I shall do. I shall tear down my barns and build larger ones. There I shall store all my grain and other goods, and I shall say to myself, 'Now as for you, you have so many good things stored up for many years. Rest, eat, drink, be merry.' But God said to him, 'You fool, this night your life will be demanded of you. And the things you have prepared, to whom will they belong? Thus will it be for all who store up treasures for themselves, but are not rich in what matters to God.'" The Gospel of the Lord. "You fool, this night your life will be demanded of you, and the things you have prepared, to whom will they belong?" There's three questions that I think we can ask ourselves in light of today's readings. First, where do we place our treasure? Second, what do we value the most? And third, what are we really living for? We just heard of the rich man who experiences an abundant harvest. Feeling very secure, he tears down his barns to build larger ones, to hold all his goods. And he tells himself, "You have plenty stored up for years to come. Relax, eat, drink, and be merry." But God calls him a fool and reminds him that his life will be demanded of him that very night. And all his plans, all his treasures, they amount to nothing in the face of eternity. This gospel, it's often interpreted as a warning against the love of money and the danger of materialism. I think that there's something even deeper here, especially today in the world in which we live. It's not just about the things that we possess that we should be thinking about, but the time that our God gives to us. Of all the treasures that God entrusts to us, few are more valuable than time itself. Time is a gift that cannot be stored up, it cannot be bought or replaced. Once time is spent, it is gone. And yet, it is this very gift that so many of us find the hardest to part with. Unlike money, which we might give a portion to charity, or possessions that we might donate, many of us, I believe, fiercely guard our time. We actually call it my time. This is my time. And often use it mostly for our own wants, our own comforts, and sometimes even for our own distractions. Today, many consume themselves with countless hours on the internet, with social media and entertainment. Over 25 years ago, when I began doing internet ministry, I was putting on my websites, we must take control of the internet today before it takes control over us. Sadly, for many, the opposite has happened. The internet, I believe, now dictates how we spend our time. What was meant to be a tool has become a trap. We have been given a treasure in time, precious moments in which we can love others, in which we can serve and pray and grow and listen and learn and enrich our souls. But how often do we squander this gift as the rich man did with his goods? Instead of barns, I like to say, how many now are building up digital silos, spending hour after hour scrolling and clicking and watching, consuming, and then wonder why their hearts feel so empty and so restless. We heard St. Paul in today's second reading reminding us to seek what is above, not what is on earth, to put to death whatever belongs to our earthly nature, and to clothe ourselves with the new self. This includes not only letting go of material desires, but also surrendering our time, our schedules, and our priorities to God. St. Augustine once said, God has made us for himself, and our hearts are restless until they rest in him. You can have all the wealth and all the free time in the world, and yet your heart can still be restless unless that time is given in part back to God and to others. So today, let us ask ourselves, what do I treasure most? How am I using the time God has given me? Can I give some time, half hour, an hour, maybe even just 5 minutes to God in prayer? Or do I fill that time with countless distractions? Do I make time for my family? Do I allow time for silence, for acts of kindness towards others? Or has my time become entirely my own, shielded and guarded, and in the end, wasted? Let us not be like the rich fool, building bigger barns and bigger digital silos, always reaching for more, yet losing what matters most. Let us instead use every moment wisely, investing in what is eternal: love and compassion, faith and service, and most importantly, trust in God. May we surrender our time back to the one who gave it, so that when our own time is demanded of us, we may be rich in what truly matters to God.